Today, I want to talk about how even if you have depression or anxiety, even if you have or are currently experiencing abuse, you still can raise great kids.
Children are great by their very nature, and we have the privilege and responsibility of raising them. It can be challenging at times. Let's talk about it.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Armstrong. I'm a general and special education teacher. I've experienced depression and anxiety of my own, and there's a different feel to parenting when you've experienced that. And I want to talk a little bit about how we can still raise great kids. Now, when we are experiencing depression, when we're experiencing anxiety, when we've either are in the middle of abuse, or if we're just having that leftover dealing with abuse that happens internally, we can still raise great kids. Right now, when we're dealing with those things, our mind gets involved and it spends a lot of its energy dealing with those things so that we can be at least minimally functional, and there's a lot less for raising our kids, but we still do everything we can, but it's not as much as if we were able to handle or resolve some of these other mental health type issues that have come from some of the things we've experienced in life. But here's the thing. The same things that help you raise great kids, an understanding of our brain and what goes on in our brain, what we can do to work with our brain to get it to go along the track that we want. Those things, those foundational things that help us to raise great kids, also helps us to resolve some of the mental health issues we have. And the model that I teach, because I do have a course that I teach, that course really delves into those foundational things, those things we don't even know we need. Often I get from parents, well, what do I say to my child to get them to do this, their homework, their chore? And it involves a lot of the how, like exactly what do I say? And the model that I teach teaches us how to get in to who we really are. And when we get there, parenting and knowing what to say, it becomes natural because we have all the information, all the skills that we need. They are inside us right now. We already have it. We just don't know that we have it. And it takes kind of learning from outside of us sometimes to uncover that, to help us to rediscover those things that we've covered up from before we could think about thinking. Like even as young children, we start covering up who we really are to fit what we perceive, from our parents, from other significant adults, from teachers in our lives. We begin to cover them up. and then you throw in things like depression or anxiety, and in the course we'll go over why do I get depression? Why do I get anxiety? And I'll tell you, it's not because of some kind of neurochemical deficiency or overabundance. There are basic reasons for that. And you'll see it starting to come out now, because the psychologists, they sit there and they go, oh, you have depression, you have anxiety, you have ADHD, and they give us all these labels. But then we have the neuroscientists over there in another department speaking another language, raising their hands, saying, wait, we've got more information. And those two different departments, the psychologists and the neuroscientists, scientists have for ever, been separate. They do their own research, their own studies. And only recently have they been going, oh, wait, maybe it's a good idea if we talk about things. And so the neuroscientists, they were raising their hands trying to get the psychologists' attention, saying, wait, what you guys are labeling as the problem is really a symptom. And when you try treating a symptom as the problem, it's really hard to get resolution. It's really hard to solve the problem treating a symptom. If you have an ear infection and all you do is treat your fever, then, your ear infection can get really, really bad. It's possible it could resolve on its own, but it's also possible you can have an eardrum rupture and things go downhill from there. So being able to treat the foundational problem and not the symptom can really help us step into raising great kids when we're, as a parent, struggling with some of these mental health issues or some of these traumatic experiences that we have. And excuse me, it's the same thing that we teach our children. It's the same thing. If we want to teach our children so that they can step into their greatness that they already have, just like we already have it, we've just had more years to bury it, right? It's the same thing. So what I teach in raising great kids really can help you as a parent if you are also struggling with traumatic experiences. You've had that depression, that anxiety, or even as we get into bipolar or things of that nature, multiple personalities, they all kind of come down to the same core thing. And that is the things that go on in our brain. And I can talk about this subject for hours. We can spend hours talking about it. But today, I just really want you to understand that there is hope. There is a solution that if you choose to apply, can kick this out of your life. And if there's things that bring up old patterns, you have a model and a path and a way to quickly get back. Because I'm sorry, none of us are perfect, and there are things that we haven't had to deal with for a while sometimes that will bring up an old pattern. But when you know what to do with that pattern, it's okay. It's like, wow, I get to uncover another little piece of me again. And so it's not it's not a negative to go there for a minute or two, or a day or two, or a week or two. We get out of it quicker, and the more we do it, the quicker we can get out of it. So remember, children are great by their very natures, and we are children too. We have been children, and so we are great by our very natures. And I will see you in another episode.
Hi friends, Cynthia Armstrong here. Thanks for joining us today. Please make sure that you subscribe to our channel so you can see when new videos come out, and like this one. It is such a responsibility and a challenge to raise great kids, and we are here to help you along that journey to make it as enjoyable and fun and fulfilling as possible. Please check out our website, www.raisinggreatkids.net, and I will leave that in the description below.